Hello YouTube world! We are back with a small update, which is not so small when you think of our lives. It was a pretty huge situation going on, but we are here to talk about our life as cat dads and why we have been away for almost a year now.
Yeah. So since the last video that you must have seen, we've been speaking about cats a lot. Our stories on Instagram have been cats. Personal stories have also been cats. Our personal lives have also been cats. He's been cuddling more with the cats than me. But it's just that we've changed so much as humans, so much as a couple, so much as cat dads, that we thought we really need to come here and let you know what this big change has been and what these millions of emotions that we've been feeling are like.
The last video that we posted was of Frenchie giving birth, so linked right above. For those of you who don't know, we took in Frenchie when she was a stray cat just to come at our window, and she was pregnant with 5 babies. 5. Yes. We didn't know it at that time that she was pregnant, but hey, life teaches you things, throws you curveballs, you take it your own way and learn out of it, and that's exactly what we did. She gave birth in our house. We had 5 kittens running around, which was a massive change from wanting to kind of build a new house and decorate it the way we wanted to decorate and live in it. But after having those 5 kittens, that was just not how life would kind of go. We would have to kind of change the direction of everything that we were doing, including the kind of content we wanted to make.
Including our career, including even our personal lives. It's as good as taking in like a kid, and having to take care of them. So it was a big responsibility on both of us. And we thought we'd just take you through everything that's happened through these months.
So when Frenchie first gave birth, we were also very unaware of how to take care of the kittens since there were 5. We kind of restricted them to the balcony and they weren't walking for a week or so, and it was very cute till then. But we did not realize how huge litter training is part of having young kittens. They did not know where to poo, what to do. We had to cover the bed, cover the carpets, remove the carpets actually. There was no carpet in the hall. There was nothing, there were no rugs, nothing. And also, since our windows didn't have kind of a lock, we had to keep the furnitures next to the window away from the wall and everything. Everything in the hall was literally in the center of the hall. It felt like living in a how do you describe it? Like a
zoo.
I was not gonna go for it.
Homo Sweet Homo has been everything for us, but it's not childproof. You didn't think it'll be that big of an issue.
Yeah, and also we didn't think that it would take so long to kind of get the kittens adopted.
I think it was more of we were on autopilot, life just threw this at us and we had to learn as we go. Right from the pregnancy, like you must have seen in the video, we were chat GPTing. So even here in terms of behavior, we were just chat GPTing everything. How do you litter train them? Because even though the kittens were learning things, Frenchie was really anxious. This is really new for her.
Yeah, I could fit all 5 of them in my palms like this. They were that tiny. So we were using small kind of plastic litters for them. And Frenchie would poop in them, and she's a big cat and it would be a mess. We would have to clean the house 6 times a day. Oh, by the way, stay till the end of the video for a cute little surprise.
Big little surprise. Now it's big. So disclaimer, in case you've reached this part of the video, this is going to be a lot of cat information. We don't want to force you into understanding what went through with the cats. We know some people do not find interest in it. But if you do stay till the end, you just know how we've changed as humans, and we just want to be on the same page with you. So stay till the end.
So the kitten were growing up nice and healthy. They had opened their eyes and they were kind of trying to walk around, and they were about a month old when we started kind of seeing these very behavioral changes in Frenchie, where she was not eating that well, she was not playing at all, and she would just kind of go to different corners and sleep, and we were like, something is up with her and we need to get her checked.
She was actually also refusing to kind of feed the kittens, which was a big red flag as per what ChatGPT told us.
So we had actually taken Frenchie to the vet for spaying, which was not after a month, a month and a half.
A little more than
a month and a half. We took her to the vet for spaying and we did her blood test. And in that blood test, we found out that she has FIP. For people who don't know what FIP is, it's
feline infectious peritonitis.
Feline infectious peritonitis.
Peritonitis.
So yeah, she got diagnosed with the feline infectious peritonitis, which is FIP.
Of course, we didn't know, nor did we even try to Google search what this is, because we thought it's just an infection. Okay, fine,
Yeah.
we have to delay the spaying by a little while, but at least she'll be making sure that the surgery goes well. I went to the vet next day with no idea about the fact that this is a fatal infection, and it's completely what do you say, spreads very easily to other felines, not to humans.
And we did not realize how our life would kind of turn around after that point. Once we got to know the treatment plan for it, which is 84 days of continuous injections at the same time of the day for 84 days, and you can't even miss one injection. On top of that, these injections are so expensive. We literally thought of like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? We have 5 kittens at home, a cat with FIP, and so much financial burden put on us along with our jobs and social media.
Plus, we just moved in. It was just all too new, and it was like life forced the out of us to adapt.
Yeah, it was like, here you go, responsibilities. Grow
Now you
up,
know what to do with it.
grow up. Will you survive as a couple? Will you survive as human beings? Test yourselves. Like, it literally felt like that. We really wanted to enjoy the house because it's been just a year in this house. We have these 2 carpets that have been wrapped up and put under this bed for the past 8 months because we could not bring it out because the kittens were pooping everywhere. Frenchie had diarrhea, by the way, which was one of her symptoms and the most prominent symptoms of her FIP.
Yeah.
So she was pooping everywhere in the house, and that's a symptom in cats where if they're going through like a
anxious
period or like an infection or unwell, they always poop outside the litter box. So she was pooping everywhere but in her litter box.
And so I didn't inform the boarding because I had needed a few hours to figure out how do we do this. There were no cats in the boarding. The boarding was primarily for dogs, and it doesn't spread to dogs. But I had to, of course, be really honest and let the boarding owner know about the fact that this is Frenchie's FIP status. And in that 15 minutes, she said, I cannot take the risk of keeping Frenchie here. And so we were under the whole thing that, okay, now this is the only option. We're going to have to keep Frenchie in a cave in the living room. So we got a huge cave, and Frenchie was just... Cave. It was a huge cage, and Frenchie was kind of in it, and she was crying, and the kittens are, of course, it was just a big mental burden because I heard this information when Atalan was at work. Atalan asked me, how was the appointment? What did the doctor say? I said, she said something, you come back, we'll talk. Because I just don't think there's value in stressing Atalan while he's at work.
Yeah, so basically I came back from work and I saw her in a cage. We discussed all of it, and then we quickly realized that it doesn't make sense to keep her in a cage for 84 days. So we took the decision of like keeping our bedroom doors shut and let Frenchie use the hall. The kittens will use the balcony and occasionally the bedroom. The bigger problem was that they were still on Frenchie's milk, so we had to kind of get the formula milk and feed them like 6 times a day.
So these gay dads have done that too.
Yeah, we were doing that. Like, we used to take shifts. So if when I was at work, you would feed them 3 times, and I came back from work, I would do that 3 times.
They had to be fed every 2 hours.
Every 2 hours, almost like 6 times before we went to sleep, kinds. More than that, actually. That part is very blurry at this point for me. So this is how our day would look like. We would wake up, we would feed the kittens and Frenchie. Then at around 12, which was the time for Frenchie's injection, Divesh would take her to the vet every day at 12 to get her injected. She got very feral, and these are painful injections, by the way.
Yeah, the doctor themselves said that these injections are really thick.
Yeah.
Plus, this is like an experimental.
It's an experimental medicine. Like, people say it gets cured, but you never are sure of it, and you still have to observe the cat after 84 days. But we regardless started it, and the doctor said you might not have to do it for 84 days. But we were like, we don't care, even if she's cured, we'll do it for 84 days and get it out of the way.
Yeah, like I joined a FIP support group in India, and they said no matter what doctor says, do not stop the medicine, because the problem with this medicine was that it's very trial and error based, and it's been tested for 84 days, nothing lesser than and every injection, like Atalan said, was so expensive. And I say this till date, I mean, I get goosebumps every time I talk about this, but like, we had a big project that came in that time, and it paid us really well, and we had planned that let's travel the world with this money. But like, I'm so grateful for that one amount that came in, because Frenchie's complete treatment was done by that one. Now we were thinking about crowdfunding this too.
Like, we feel lucky that that money came in at that time where we could like help her. And honestly, that's much bigger than kind of traveling. We can still keep traveling,
Yeah.
but our priority was to like save her life. During this process, we changed vets like 2 times, and then at last we found a vet which was closer to our house, and she was very nice about taking care of Frenchie. She guided us through it, and
She was, I felt like, compared to a lot of vets, I'd like to name them. They're Critter Care in Matunga, and they were so helpful. I would never have to ask them additional information about how do I take care of this. They would just be really kind enough to help me, because they knew the pain that these injections caused to her. They were yet so kind, even though she was scratching and feral with them.
yeah.
You know, like the other doctor, she said her handlers are rejecting treating Frenchie because she's scratching them. I'm like, she's an animal. You have gloves. You're
You
vaccinated.
10 times bigger than her. You can like literally hold her. But she called us. She's like, hey, from tomorrow I'm not pushing the injection. And we were like, if we don't find somebody before 12 the next day, we have to start all of this again. Like,
And this is a very well-reputed vet.
yeah. I wish we could name, but we're not those people. That's exactly why we kind of took a break from social media also, because we could not keep up with it.
Yeah.
The house was not a mess. We were a mess. What needed more priority was them. Listen, 2 months, 3 months in our lifespan doesn't matter. If we lose subscribers, if we lose followers, we don't care. This holds much more priority in our lives. And that was also one of the points where I kind of realized, oh shit, I'm growing up kind of situation.
Even though a month passed and we're like, oh my god, it's been a month.
We haven't posted anything.
It's like anxiety to the max. Like literally, it would just be in the back of your head. Like, it's easy to say, but
it's
so
really hard to do. During this time only, we kind of decided to start the adoption process for the kittens, because they were almost about like two and a half months
which is a good age.
It's a good age, and also people don't adopt big. Like when they get like about 4 or 5 months, they start looking like big cats. So people don't prefer that. People want that cute little. And we have had people who have said in the later part of adoptions that, hey, they look like big cats now, we don't want them. So we wanted to start it very early. We clicked a few pictures. We named the kittens.
Yeah,
that was my favorite
with like 2
part.
months, we made posters, which are the cutest looking posters. I don't know why people wouldn't adopt right immediately looking at the posters, because my graphic skills were like out there.
Not the spelling mistakes in the posters, but
He, she,
her, him, misgendered the kittens, or whatever. So the 2 black kittens were female and 3 ginger males. The first one to kind of get adopted was Tango. Tango is a male, he's a ginger. I used to call him, he's adopted now, I used to call him my best friend, because he used to love to cuddle and all. A great guy, honestly.
Sorry, like not a cool dude.
No. I'm talking about the guy who adopted him. Was a great guy. Not Tango is also a great guy.
Confidence.
We had full confidence, but when
you know, we dropped them at his house, and then like, you know, I just know in my gut when something is not right. And luckily to y'all, when y'all got to know that we're giving these kittens up for adoptions, a lot of you people sent us like procedures to follow to make sure it's done right.
Oh yeah, and we are really grateful for you guys for doing that, because Devesh made a whole form of like the essential details that we need to know about them, and like the fact that we'll be doing surprise house visits and stuff like that.
If you're thinking about adopting, please let your pet owner really do these procedures to make sure the well-being of the kitten is not compromised. Or the dog.
And thank God we did that, because when Devesh went for a surprise visit, we found out that he was on a vacation and his office staff was feeding Tango only 2 spoons of food a day.
When I entered that room, he was just locked there with no sunlight, some indoor light, with no human contact. He was just biting me, he was not letting me hold him, he was just dropping things, he was a mess. and I knew something is wrong. So when I kept asking questions, I realized that the food was the problem and he was not being fed properly.
Yeah.
And the owner himself later on said, I cannot take up this responsibility. I have my shadi coming into the picture. I'm like, you didn't know about your shadi? So it's just the fact that people don't understand that this is a responsibility, you know.
Yeah, and then once he said that, we were like, okay, it's time to get Tango back. But luckily, the females got adopted really quickly, honestly. So both of them were adopted in Pune. We had gone halfway to meet the families. One was with a very tiny kid, and she was so excited to meet Margot.
Kitten's name is Margot.
Yeah, so Margot went to the tiny kid, and she was so happy. And we called the girl, and I was like, "Do you want to meet the other kitten? Her name is Peppa. She's in the car." And she was not at all interested. She's like, "Give me Margot."
I just want Margot. Yeah.
Peppa went to another family
in Pune.
And that girl, she's a teenager, but that girl is so responsible.
I agree.
So sweet. I'm like so glad for Peppa because she was my first love. And I wanted to keep Peppa
since day one.
But yeah.
But we couldn't pick and choose at this point.
Yeah. So we had the 3 gingers left. And speaking of beautiful families, my God, we found such a loving couple for Toma.
Toma was the second kitten that Atalan was eyeing on. He was like, no, I am not letting go of Toma. I need Toma and Toma. I let go of Peppa, but I need Toma. But I was like, Atalan, you cannot pick and choose.
At this point, I was like, okay, I will swallow my tears and give him away.
Yeah.
So we went to drop him also.
Now what happened next with these 2 kittens was even more heartbreaking than we ever thought we could have faced anything like that, you know. My instincts, of course, kicked in. There was a girl who kind of wanted both of them. They were quite close by to our locality, so we said okay. And we were traveling like 2 weeks later, so we were like, okay, fine, let's do it in this week, right? The kittens went to the family, and then this girl stopped answering my messages and calls that evening.
So this happened within the span of the same day. Like,
and they all went MIA, and I was like, 2 kittens have just gone and they're not answering me. And Atalan and the godmother who's been helping us through this whole, shout out Mitali, our friend who helped us through this whole adoption. They were just talking me into it about the fact that Devesh, you're overthinking this. Give them some time. Even we took some time. So give the other family also some time to get them used to, you know. And my instinct was right, may I say.
Yeah.
The next day.
I'm so sorry. I kind of rushed
the
this
next
adoption.
day, Atalan was at work. Always the worst things happen when you're at work and I'm alone at home.
I think I should quit my job.
So she just messaged saying that we cannot do this in the morning and we're giving the kittens back. I said, okay, no problem. You know, I didn't say anything. I said, okay, no problem. And she messaged like in the afternoon when I was having my lunch. She messaged saying, hey, we've left the kittens outside the house. Sorry, we couldn't face you or tell you what happened. But we've left them. We've left everything outside the house. I opened the door and the kittens are sitting there inside the carrier with their food peed inside the carrier while food was just thrown in there. You'll see in this picture, I took this exactly there just to make sure I have proof of the fact that this is how the adopter left them. And this is when, honestly, we were just like, this is disgusting. Like we don't deserve people animals.
Exactly, like if you are thinking of taking a pet, like why would you treat them like this if you don't have the capability of doing it? Just don't do it for fun's sake, or like it's fun to have a cat around in the house. It is not that. Like, people don't understand the value of pets, honestly, and some people just want to do it for the aesthetics of it. Because hey, I can put a picture with a cat every day on my Instagram stories and it's gonna look cute. My God, like it just broke my heart, and I kind of feel guilty about this adoption because I wanted to rush it because we were leaving in a week. But this happened, and then we quickly took a decision of getting a pet sitter for the 3 of the cats at home, and we left Frenchie, Truffy and Tango home.
Again, the best pet sitter. Going off topic, but if you all need a good pet sitter in Mumbai, we're gonna leave Abhijeet's contact down. We would see all of these moments on the webcam where he's cuddling with them. Nothing to worry about at all.
Amidst all of this chaos, one good thing that happened was the 84 days was over. No more injections, no more medications. We kind of tried to make Truffy, Tango, and Frenchie meet. It was again a hissing contest. So after that, we had another opportunity of adoption, and we were really confused as to whether to keep all three of them.
This is like 2 days before we were leaving for that trip.
Yeah, and we were like, let's discuss on the trip, come back and discuss whether we want to keep all of them. So Tango, once again,
Finally
found a home, and we were so nervous, we were so stressed, we were so anxious as to whether this would work out, because this was his third time going to a third house, and we were like, God be his forever home, and it turned out to be that. Tango is now called Mars, which I'm really not sad about. It just feels weird to have called him Tango all this while, and like suddenly he's Mars. But like, he has a page also for himself. And I love that family. They're taking really good care of him. With Frenchie, we have decided to let her be an indoor-outdoor cat.
The reason an indoor-outdoor cat is because we would have loved to have Frenchie home and domesticate her, but she's lived all her life outside and she's been wanting to go out. One very, very hard feeling is that Frenchie doesn't trust us as much anymore because we've taken her to get injected medicine,
and then at home also we would kind of have to give her injections, so you have to hold her in a towel and feed her medication. So she kind of also lost that trust. But like we used to, every night we used to say to each other, it's for her good, it's okay that she will live a long life, and even if she doesn't trust us, it's okay, she'll at least live. But that kind of, brought like drew like a wedge between us.
We did something that will never get back that emotion from her for us.
Yeah, and we kind of decided to let her go in and out, and we tried that today. It backfired majorly. She got scratched by a cat right outside our window and she came back inside the house.
Before this, like during lunch, I was just telling Atalan, like, what has Frenchie done to deserve any of this?
I swear, man, that poor cat, she tries so hard, and like things keep happening to her, and I feel bad. But she's become like a little chubby and all after being.
She's become healthier.
She's become healthier. She's become chubbier.
She is not FIP positive anymore.
Yes. So she's playing with the kitten.
Kitten.
Should I say the surprise now?
Yes.
The surprise is basically that we are keeping Truffy. We cannot let Truffy go.
He cannot let Truffy go.
See, I have made my sacrifices from Peppa to Toma to Truffy now. And Truffy is the sweetest little boy. Oh my God, he sleeps with me every single night. Devesh is so jealous. Like, he would just cuddle up next to us, and like he'll stretch on us like this, and he'll make biscuits like this. Like, ginger cats are so dumb. Like, he would just tumble. Like, he does all this weird stuff.
There was a time where I was pooping, and today Atalan was also like using the restroom, and he would just come and sit inside your pajama while the pants is down and sleep. Regardless, you should see Truffy.
Yes. Get him. Oh, he's yawning. Hi, Bacha. Come. People want to meet you. You wanna come meet them? Come.
Ta-ta-da! Meet our new family member.
Forever family member.
Truffy. Purohit.
Tolani. TPT. Truffy.
Oh, I hate that.
Purohit. Tolani. Right? Oh, he's still sleepy, right?
Good too. Let him sleep. Go.
Look at him. Like, he's the cutest little boy.
So our life has changed again since the past week because now we finally taken in Truffy. So we will be resuming home decor soon, and you should be expecting a lot of that too. And a lot of Truffy time. My Truffy time. We're not the same boys anymore. We're two dads. We have a lot of responsibilities.
Thank you. Thank you for being in our life. Thank you for being this cute. Okay, Manishi, tata. Say tata.
Bye
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
फिर मिलेंगे. चलते चलते. Bye guys.